Should you carry a firearm on you while you're doing surveillance? Hi, this is Larry K. with ShadowAnyone.com. I'm the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, and that includes the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance. And today is a free sample, a clip right out of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance. What I teach in that very extended course is every aspect of surveillance from start to finish, the whole 9 yards. But today I want to pull out just a little small section I have about whether or not to go armed to surveillance. I kind of have strong feelings about this. Not that I'm going to argue with anybody about it, and you do you. I honestly don't care. But if you haven't thought of it in the perspective that I'm about to share with you, please do think of it. And then after this clip, I'm going to share a little bit more with you. Now, one thing that comes up, especially when you're talking about face-to-face contact, is whether or not to do a surveillance armed. Now, I'm a firm believer that if you do surveillance properly, you're in, you're out, no one even knows you were there. There's no reason to go armed to a surveillance. If you look at it logically, just from a numbers point of view, you're going to do your surveillance more than 99 out of 100 times and never have contact with anyone. Now, on the 1% of the chance that you do have contact with someone, a neighbor or the subject, only 1 in 100 of those are they going to be aggressive towards you. Of those times, maybe 1 in 100 are they going to get physical with you. And of those times, maybe only 1 in 100 do you have to use force that would rise to the level of needing a weapon. You're talking about a 1% chance of a 1% chance of a 1% chance, a tiny sliver that you're going to need a weapon. Now, my philosophy in general about weapons and sidearms is they're kind of like parachutes. You could probably live 10 lifetimes and never need one. But if you need one, you really need one. Same thing with guns and weapons. My advice to you, though, would be to work without a firearm on a surveillance. Let me give you a real-life example of how having a sidearm with you can be a problem on surveillance. Where I was working and in other areas, you sometimes were required by law to notify the police that you were there. One investigator does this. The police officer comes by just to see how he's doing, to check on him. Maybe he has an agenda, maybe he doesn't. We don't know. The officer asks the private investigator for his ID. The investigator shows him his ID. The officer asks him, "Are you armed?" The investigator says, "Yes, I am." The police officer says, "Where is your piece?" The guy opens up his jacket. He's working plain clothes, of course. And underneath his jacket is his sidearm. The officer immediately arrests him for carrying a concealed weapon. Now, this set of circumstances may not arise where you are because the laws are different. Maybe you even have a carry concealed weapon permit area in your law. But it's still the type of thing that it adds a layer of potential problem to a surveillance if you've got a weapon. It comes down to being your call and following the law, but I'd advise against it. So the key to handling face-to-face contact, be it with the subject, with a neighbor, or even the police, is to have your pretext story ready and be polite. This is going to resolve 99% of all problems you'll face. I base that not on things that I've read, not on articles from online. That's not from other people's videos. That's real life. That's over 2 decades of working in this industry. And, you know, I even have, can you see, maybe I can point to it right there. Right there is my little book, How to Make a Citizen's Arrest. I've done that like half a dozen times. I come out of loss prevention, where you go hands-on a lot, at least back in the day I worked it. And what I'm sharing with you about whether or not you need a weapon is based on a lot of experience. So please take that into consideration. Consider that source. If you'd like to learn more about surveillance, please do check out the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance over at ShadowAnyone.com. In the meantime, this is Larry K. with ShadowAnyone. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.